previewing December 2. Numero 2. And there's some interesting games. There's some games being played tomorrow by teams that played tonight, and some teams who had a day off. But we're into December, and December's schedule is usually almost as ugly as November's. It's like they bunch a bunch of games together. They stack them all together right before Christmas, going, you got a few days off, so we can just stack everything together on you. And then in January, it's, oh crap, we got to make room for the All-Star game and all your bye weeks. And then from there on, it gets kind of hectic, because there will be teams who have 5 days off while everybody else is playing. And then when they come back from those 5 days off, they complain of rust. And I can't wait for that part of the year. Can you? I kind of can. San Jose, the Crashing Sharks, who are now third in their division. That's right. They're no longer second because they failed to beat Ottawa today. They still have more regulation and overtime wins than do the Ducks. So if they finish with the same amount of points right now, they would finish ahead of the Ducks. But it's not a position they want to be in. And they're against Montreal. And yeah, that means the Anaheim Ducks right now would have home ice advantage in the playoffs. Isn't that awesome? So the Sharks are 12-10-5. The Montreal Canadiens are 12-9-5. Montreal coming off of a win at home tonight against these guys. And we'll see what happens tomorrow night. The leading scorer for San Jose is still Burns, 3 goals, 24 assists. Couture, 8 goals, 17 assists. Meyer, 13 goals, 10 assists. Pavelski, 16 goals, 5 assists. Hurdle, 6 goals, 12 assists. LeBanc, 3 goals, 14 assists. Evander Kane, 7 goals, 9 assists. And Carlson with 2 goals and 13 assists. And yeah, if San Jose loses this one tomorrow night, which will be 5 in a row, we're up to a point where I need to sit down and go over a video and figure out exactly how to dissect what's gone wrong with San Jose. On the Montreal side of things, Domi, 11 goals, 16 assists. Tatar, 11 goals, 10 assists. Drouin, 9 goals, 12 assists. Gallagher, 11 goals, 6 assists. Petrie, 2 goals, 15 assists. Laakkonen, 4 goals, 10 assists. Dano, 2 goals, 12 assists. And rounding out the scoring for Montreal, Andrew Shaw with 7 goals and 6 assists. Goaltending, I'd expect Dell here since Jones was in net tonight. Not that it matters. Dell 3-4-2, 2.88 goals against, 904 save percentage. Jones 9-6-3 now with a 3.12 goals against and an 887 save percentage. That's just woeful. In the net for Montreal, Carey Price is now 8-7-4, 3.05 goals against, 898 save percentage. But I expect Niemi, since it's back-to-backs, Niemi's 4-2-1, 3.61 goals against, 893 save percentage. So this could be a high-scoring game on both sides. Now, when you look at their last 10, both teams are 4-4-2. But Montreal ended a 5-game losing skid tonight with a win, and San Jose's on a 4-game losing skid, a road trip that has been very mean to them. On the road, they're 4-7-3 at home. The Montreal Canadiens are 7-5-2. Versus the East, in 14 games, San Jose's won 4. They're 4-6-4, and Montreal's an impressive 5-3 versus the West. If you look at shooting, and I haven't been going into shots per game over the last couple of weeks on purpose. These aren't stats I want to track every game. But right now, San Jose's taking 35.5 shots per game and allowing 28.6. Montreal's taking 33.5 and allowing 31.2. So both teams, decent puck control, and that may very well be what it comes down to in terms of who's going to win. But any faith I had left in San Jose is very quickly fading. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. I talked to Harrison today on Facebook. He feels the same way. And it's weird because, of course, I haven't, had any kind of affection for the San Jose Sharks for years. But I like Erik Karlsson a lot, so when they acquired him, I said, you know what, it would be nice to see the Sharks do well. And maybe I'm a jinx. Maybe. Could be. On the next team up for bid, or next team on the board, next game on the board. No, next team up for bid. I like that. I like the idea of people bidding on teams. And right now, Ottawa fans are like, can we get a new owner that way? Nah. He's the only owner that wouldn't sell under any circumstances. He seems like the kind of guy who just entrenches himself. Anyways, on a completely unrelated note, the Flames are against the Blackhawks. The Flames are 15-9-2, and the Hawks are 9-13-5. These teams are headed in opposite directions. And for Calgary, they can really start salting away this division pretty darn quick. Honestly, San Jose's falling back. While Anaheim's on a decent run, I don't see them as a threat to Calgary. If the Flames can win a 3 or 4 in a row here, they can start talking about, yeah, we're going to win the division and what we're going to do from there. Tkachuk leads them in scoring, 12 goals, 17 assists. Johnny Gaudreau, 10 goals, 19 assists. Monahan, 14 goals, 13 assists. Lindholm, 11 goals, 15 assists. Giordano, 3 goals, 21 assists. Backlund, 5 goals, 11 assists. TJ Brody with 2 goals, 9 assists. And Hanifin, same total, 2 goals, 9 assists for him. On the Chicago side, Patrick Kane, 13 goals, 17 assists. Jonathan Toews, 11 goals, 10 assists. Brinkett, 10 goals, 10 assists. Saad, 8 goals, 7 assists. Anisimov, 5 goals, 9 assists. Seabrook, 3 goals, 8 assists. Cahoon, 3 goals, 8 assists. And Gustafsson with 4 goals and 7 assists. So when you look at it for Chicago, there's really a mix of things that have gone wrong. But we can't say anything about Kane because Kane has 30 points to this point in the season. And every time he's on the ice, he's pretty much the most impressive player on the ice. That's just a reality. The problem is almost everything else after that. In net, I expect Riddick here. Smith has a 7-7-1 record now with a 3.13 goals against, 884 save percentage. Mike Smith's numbers are getting better. But Riddick, 8-2-1, 2.21 goals against, 924 save percentage. He has to play here. Crawford, I expect tomorrow because we had Ward tonight. Crawford's 5-10-1, 3.18 goals against, 901 save percentage. Ward's now 4-3-4 with a 3.91 goals against, 888 save percentage. Over their last 10, Calgary's not 6-3-1 with their win in their last game, and Chicago's 3-5-2 and they've lost 3 in a row. Chicago's definitely having problems. On the road, Calgary's 7-6. At home, Chicago's 5-4-3. Versus the West, Calgary's an impressive 11-6-1, and Chicago is a less impressive 5-8-3. So that tells you really all you need to know right there. That even though this is a game in Chicago and you should expect Chelsea Dagger about 4 times, you should also expect probably about 5 goals from the Flames because that's kind of the games that Chicago's been playing lately. Shots for and against. Calgary's taken 33.4 shots per game. They're allowing 28. Chicago's taking 32.1 shots per game. They're allowing 33.4. So not a huge difference there by any means. And again, Chicago's just finding ways to lose games that they would have won as recently as 2 years ago. And this is part of what happens when your team is falling into what looks like a rebuild for Chicago. And if they do go into a rebuild, is Stan Bowman the guy that you want leading the team through a rebuild? There are plenty of Hawks fans that would say no. Okay, moving on. The Washington, or not Washington, they're over here. I'm really tired. So I did the review, I did the power rankings, now I'm doing this, and then I'm going to bed, and that's after 4.5 hours sleep last night. Oh, okay. Winnipeg. There you go. That's the team I'm looking for, and against the Rangers. And I'm wearing this one for the preview because I have a Jets throwback, which is virtually identical to this jersey. It's exactly the same design that was taken to Winnipeg when the Jets were brought into the NHL, except the neck has a white stripe in the middle of 2 red stripes. Other than that, it's the exact same jersey. So it's kind of fun that these teams are playing each other tomorrow. A time could have been had where you had the original Winnipeg jersey and that 70s jersey for the Rangers, and a very odd-looking game would have taken place. But anyways, I don't anticipate that while the Heritage jersey is back for the Winnipeg Jets, and it looks amazing in an Adidas. No, I haven't ordered one yet. But it's available on True North. So there you go, free plug. I didn't get paid for that. 15-8-2 is Winnipeg's record now. The Rangers are 13-12-2. And I'm still nervous about Winnipeg, and this game's going to be big because the Rangers are very good at home. Not great on the road, but very good at home. Leading scorer for the Winnipeg Jets, Blake Wheeler, 4 goals, 29 assists. Scheifele, 15 goals, 16 assists. Laine, 21 goals, 3 assists. Connor, 10 goals, 14 assists. Bufflin, 2 goals, 15 assists. Ehlers, 8 goals, 7 assists. Little, 4 goals, 10 assists. And Trouba, 2 goals, 10 assists. Is it me, or do all of Laine's goals seem to happen in 1 or 2 games? It's just a weird thing I've noticed with him, that it's feast or famine. And it's more dramatic with him than any other player I can remember. It's insane. No goals for 5 games and then 5 goals in that next game, it seems. On the Rangers side of things, Zibanejad leads them with 8 goals, 15 assists, followed by Kreider, 13 goals, 8 assists. Hayes, 5 goals, 12 assists. Pionk, 4 goals, 11 assists. VC, 9 goals, 5 assists. Howden, 4 goals, 9 assists. Zuccarello, 3 goals, 7 assists. And Hedl is still on the board with 5 goals and 4 assists. Good for him. Goaltenders, it'll be Hellebuck. 10-7-1 record, 3.09 goals against. His save percentage has dropped to a woeful .904. Cannot afford that. You need a really good game tomorrow, Connor, or we're going to start talking about how Brisebois might be capable of starting more games and maybe winning a few. He's got a 5-1-run record, 2.16 goals against, .935 save percentage. On the Rangers side, it'll be Lundqvist because Georgiev played tonight. He's 4-4 with a 3.37 goals against, .889 save percentage. Lundqvist, 9-8-2, 2.62 goals against, .920 save percentage. Over their last 10, Winnipeg 6-3-1. They won their last 2. Over their last 10, the Rangers are 5-5. They've lost their last 2. On the road, Winnipeg 6-5. It is the road record combined with Hellebuck that has been kind of concerning for Winnipeg fans. And at home, the Rangers are an impressive 10-4. Versus the East, Winnipeg is 6-4-1. Versus the West, the New York Rangers are 6-5. Shots. It's equal for Winnipeg, 32.5 shots for and against. On the Rangers side, they're taking 29.3 shots per game and allowing 33.6. So, again, it's an interesting stat. It does show something about puck control, and we'll see who ends up in control of this one. Again, if it's Lundqvist against Hellebuck, I give the edge to the Rangers there. Offensively, obviously, I give the edge to the Winnipeg Jets. On the blue line, you know, with the injuries that are going on with Winnipeg's blue line, I'm tempted to give the edge to the Rangers just a little bit. So this game is going to be written off by a lot of people as just, oh, well, this is going to be a win for Winnipeg. But if you really pay attention, there's every indication that the Rangers should probably win this game. Especially after what happened in Montreal tonight. They should win their next game because pride's got to kick in then, right? Next up, the Ducks and the Capitals. There's Washington. The Ducks are 13-10-5. The Capitals are an impressive 15-7-3. The Capitals have taken that slow start and made us all forget about it. They are first in the division, and they're looking to pad that lead in the division. And they have the Ducks in town. The Ducks who have a poor road record, but it's getting better. The Ducks, 13-10-5, led by Getzlaf with 7 goals and 12 assists. Raquel's next with 4 goals and 14 assists. Raquel, we expected more goals from him, but with the amount of assists, it kind of counters it. Henrique, 6 goals, 9 assists. Montour, 2 goals, 10 assists. Aberg, 7 goals, 4 assists. Silverberg, 5 goals, 6 assists. Lindholm, 2 goals, 9 assists. And Cam Fowler with 3 goals and 7 assists. For the Capitals, Backstrom, 9 goals, 23 assists. Ovechkin, 19 goals and 12 assists. Carlson, 5 goals, 22 assists. Kuznetsov, 6 goals, 16 assists. Oshie, 9 goals, 5 assists. Vrana, 6 goals, 8 assists. Eller, 4 goals, 10 assists. And hey, look, it's Tom Wilson on the board with 7 goals and 6 assists. So I get to mention Tom Wilson's name every time a preview video comes up because he's on the score sheet now in the top 8. That's going to make people happy. Gibson should be the starter, I would think, against the defending Stanley Cup champions. Miller should be the backup at 3-2-1, 2.46 goals against, 931 save percentage. Gibson, 10-8-4, 2.47 goals against, 929 save percentage. I expect Holtby here, but Copley hasn't played for a while. Copley's 5-2-1 with a 3.06 goals against, 899 save percentage. Holtby, 10-5-2, 2.76 goals against, 917 save percentage. He's been excellent during the winning streak for Washington. Over their last 10, the Ducks are 6-2-2. That's right, they're playing well. They've won their last 3. And for the Capitals, they're 8-2. They've won their last 7. 7 in a row. On the road, the Ducks are 4-7-3 at home. The Capitals are 8-3-2. Don't let that deceive you. The Ducks have had a solid road trip thus far. Versus the East, and this is kind of where it shows, they're 6-2-2. Versus the West, the Capitals are an impressive 7-3-1. So this should be a fantastic battle. Shots per game, the Ducks are the lowest in the league still at 26.5 shots per game. They're allowing 35.8. I don't think that's as bad as it was a couple weeks ago, but it's still not great. And the Capitals taking 29.8 shots per game and allowing 32.6. This should be a very close game, probably deceptively close. And for those who are on Patreon and wondering when the live stream will take place this week, I'm aiming for this game tomorrow. For Patreon live stream for one period, likely, just for hour and a half. Keep those live streams from getting too long and taking up too much time and exhausting me. But because you got to behave yourself for a live stream, right? That can be exhausting. Anyways, so yeah, this should be a fun game. And I secretly, I'm kind of sort of pulling for the Ducks. I'd kind of like to see them continue this run they've been on and see just how far they can go. But that's kind of crazy talk, and I know people are going to be like, wait, he's doing what now? There's going to be Duck fans who've been watching my channel for years. They're going to go, wait, no, he didn't say he'd want them to. That's wrong, right? Is he getting some form of Tourette's with Ducks? Next up, Colorado. The Avalanche are 15-6-5. Pretty impressive run for them as well. They are now undefeated in regulation in their last, I believe it's 10 altogether. It might be 11. I only see 10 on the board, though. The Red Wings, a deceptively good 12-11-3. And again, and I mentioned this in the power rankings tonight, they had this awful, abysmal start to the year, but since that abysmal start, they've been pretty solid. They've been one of the better teams in the East. And this is a massive challenge for them. And if they can overcome this challenge, if Detroit wins this tomorrow, that should put the East officially on notice that this team is aiming for a playoff spot. Rantanen leads Colorado in scoring. And how much is he worth? How much is he worth in bonus money now that we know how much Nylander got? There's going to be an interesting restricted free agent crop next summer, I tell you. 11 goals, 32 assists, 43 points for this kid in 26 games. He just back up a truck, Brink's truck to his house and just say, take whatever you want. McKinnon, 18 goals and 23 assists. Landeskog, 15 goals, 13 assists. Barry, 3 goals, 17 assists. Soderberg, 8 goals, 10 assists. Kerfoot, 4 goals, 14 assists. Girard, 2 goals, 10 assists. And Colin Wilson with 7 goals and 3 assists to round out the top 8. On the Detroit side of things, Larkin, 10 goals, 12 assists. Nyquist, 4 goals, 17 assists. Bertuzzi, 9 goals, 7 assists. Athanasiou, 11 goals, 5 assists. Nielsen, 1 goal, 14 assists. Mantha, 9 goals, 5 assists. Mike Green with 2 goals, 12 assists. Cholowski, 4 goals and 8 assists on his side. Goaltending, I expect Grubauer, to be honest, because to me it feels like he should get a start in here. He's 6-1-2, so his win-loss record's excellent. 3.06 goals against, 904 save percentage. Varlamov, however, if he starts, is 9-5-3, 2.36 goals against, 927 save percentage. I expect Bernier here because Howard started today, but you just never know. Howard's 9-6-3, 2.66 goals against, 923 save percentage. Bernier's 3-5, 3.63 goals against, 892 save percentage, but you got to play him somewhere. And it's back-to-backs, so you don't want to overplay Howard either. In their last 10, Colorado was 8-0-2. They've lost their last game. Detroit 6-3-1. They've won their last 2. So Detroit is officially at the same record in their last 10 as Winnipeg and as Calgary. Better than San Jose, and darn close to the same record as Carolina, who appear to be close to making their breakthrough as well. Detroit, I believe they're for real. Remember, early in the season, if you can remember back, they were losing games, and I kept saying they were close. It felt like they were close, and it was a shame they kept losing these games close. And they did it last year, too. And this year, it feels like maybe with all of this youth in the lineup, maybe it is, as I said about the Toronto Maple Leafs 2 years ago when they went on that tear, they don't realize they're supposed to lose. These guys aren't smart enough to know they're supposed to lose these games, so they're not losing them. Maybe Detroit is doing the same thing this year. And it'll be very interesting to see how this works out. On the road, Colorado's an excellent 9-4-2. Detroit is 7-5-2. Versus the East, Colorado's an impressive and intimidating 8-2-2. Versus the West, Detroit's 4-3-1. So no intimidation factor here if you're Detroit. When you look at the shots, Colorado's taking 30.4 per game. They're allowing 32.4. The Wings are taking 29.3 and they're allowing 34.9. So that tells you part of how the puck possession game works for these two teams. But I think this is a game that's probably going to come down to goaltending. And it may resemble a chess match just a little bit. Detroit's going to be on back-to-backs. And I've seen some games of theirs that I'm not going to call them boring, but they do sometimes know how to suffocate a game so that they have a better chance of winning it. And sometimes when the other team's more talented than you are, it's just what you have to do. It's not exactly the trap, but it feels trap-ish at times with watching Detroit games. Or it's either that or teams just take them for granted and we end up with them winning games that they otherwise wouldn't if teams took them seriously. All right, enough of that. Finally, last but not least, the Carolina Hurricanes are in against the LA Kings. This is a game that people will forget. It's on late. The Hurricanes 12-9-4 in against the 9-16-1 Kings. But don't sleep on the Hurricanes. Hurricanes have been playing better. Part of it is that their shots have gone down, and I'll show you that. Your leading scorer for Carolina is Aho with 7 goals, 19 assists. So he's got 26 points in 25 games. He's still above a point a game. Teravainen, 5 goals, 13 assists. Ferland, 11 goals, 4 assists. Williams, 4 goals, 10 assists. Svechnikov, 6 goals, 6 assists. Stahl, 5 goals, 6 assists. Martinuk, 7 goals, 3 assists. And Wallmark, 1 goal, 9 assists, rounds out the top 8. My concern with Carolina, even despite the record they've had over their last 10, my concern is their scoring long-term. Who's going to be that number one scorer? Who's going to be that star for them? And I'm not entirely sold. Now, yes, Aho is fantastic, but you have to have that line. You look at the teams that are doing very, very well, you have to have that superstar line. And I'm wondering if Svechnikov will get to that level. Not this year, I don't think. But you kind of need that if you're going to get there, and I'm not sure that it's there for them. On the LA side of things, and LA's been basically a disaster, but they show signs of getting better, and then they don't. Kopitar, 7 goals and 10 assists. Doughty, 2 goals, 13 assists. Kovalchuk, who's been getting more ice time, I believe, over the last couple of games, but with the same results. He's still at 5 goals, 9 assists. Brown, 8 goals, 5 assists. Carter, 5 goals, 8 assists. Toffoli, 5 goals, 7 assists. Iafallo, 5 goals, 6 assists. Martinez, 1 goal, 7 assists. Goaltending, Mrazek, 3-3-2, 2.75 goals against, 880 save percentage. I would start him here. If you're going to give Mrazek a start, give it to him here. You're in LA. Darling, who's in the American League, 2-4-1 record, 3.14 goals against, 892 save percentage. And McElhinney has earned a night off, 7-2-1 record, 2.1 goals against, 930 save percentage. Kick ass. On the LA side of things, Peterson, 4-4-1, 2.41 goals against, 929 save percentage. Budai, 0-1, 502 is his goals against. 5.02, not 502. And an 818 save percentage. I expect Jonathan Quick here. Quick's at 0-4-1 now, 4.24 goals against, 861 save percentage. And since Carolina does take some shots, and their shooting percentage tends to be low, this might be a good game for Quick to get his confidence up. Campbell, 5-7-1, 2.33 goals against, and a 923 save percentage. That should be 5-7-0. He doesn't have an overtime loss. 5-7-0 is his record. In their last 10, Carolina's 6-2-2. They lost their last game. LA's 4-6-0. They lost their last 2. On the road, Carolina's 5-5-1, and at home, LA is 5-8-1. So that's a really poor home record for LA. If they're going to have any chance of getting back into this over the next month and a half, they've got to fix that. They absolutely have to fix that. Versus the West, the Carolina Hurricanes are 5-4-2 versus the East. LA's below 500 because that's how they play. They're 4-6. Shots, 38.9 shots per game by Carolina. They're allowing 27.6. Do you know what's funny? Last time I measured shots, they were over 41 shots per game, and they were down at 24 shots against per game. So now it's down to 38-27, and the record is not being negatively impacted by it. So they're playing the game better, and we'll see if it ends up translating to a playoff spot come April. When you look at shots for LA, it's better not to think about it. They're taking 27.6 shots per game. They're allowing 31.6 shots per game. So on every level, the Kings are struggling, and we'll see if they can turn that around. And we may see that turnaround start, but I'm not holding my breath waiting for it. I had expected it early in the year. I don't consider it early anymore. We're 25 games into the season. We'll see what happens from here. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And hey, it's Sunday. It's December. Tomorrow. And, well, for some people, it's Sunday morning already, right? But, yeah. We're into the fun times now with hockey where, yes, some teams are getting better and some teams are dropping. And there's going to be certain fan bases that say, all right, I'm out. I'll be back. I'll see you guys in September. But for some, this is when hockey really gets fun. So let me know your thoughts as always. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.